Election Day is just under 7 months away now, and at a White House forum on women in the economy yesterday, President Obama suggested that more women are needed at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue,
young women
on Capitol Hill.
Fewer than 20% of the seats in Congress are occupied by women. Is it possible that Congress would get more done if there were more women in Congress? Is that fair to say?
Low as the percentage cited by Mr. Obama may be, it still marks an increase over generations past. And there is hope that this fall's election may give those numbers a boost. Here's congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes.
Have we heard from anybody opposing it?
New Hampshire Senator Jean Shaheen spent 15 years working on other people's campaigns before finally launching one of her own.
I just decided all the men I'd been working for hadn't been getting it right.
Shaheen is now the only woman in history to serve as both a governor and a senator.
As women, we have different experiences than men. They're not better, they're not worse, but they're different. And we bring those experiences to whatever we do.
Women make up just 17% of the U.S. Senate and 17% of the House.
Family responsibilities, a lack of political recruitment, and the notion that they don't think they're qualified to run for office have traditionally hindered women's candidate emergence.
Jennifer Lawless, who directs the Women's Policy Institute at American University, says self-image is also an issue.
Despite the fact that on paper, the women and men that we surveyed and interviewed look exactly the same and have the same credentials, about 60% of men compared to only 40% of women self-assessed as being qualified to run for office.
What kind of issues are you looking for from your congressman?
Republican Martha Zoller waited until her kids were grown before she ran for Georgia's 9th congressional district.
I've had people suggesting to me that I should run for office for years, but I never really took it seriously until I was an empty nester.
Zoller says more conservative women need to put their names on the ballot. In the last 20 years, her party has nominated about half as many women for Congress as have the Democrats.
When the president has just dealt with this issue about whether contraceptives should be covered and who should be paid for, I didn't see any conservative women really getting out there and talking about this issue, although there are plenty of them that could have. So I think it's time for women to get involved in politics and to step up there.
In the history of the U.S. Congress, only 2% of its members have been women. But with anti-incumbent fever still rampant, being seen as a political outsider might actually give female candidates an edge in November. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
According to the UN, the United States ranks 71st in the world for the number of women in the legislature, behind nations like Vietnam and Kazakhstan. Rwanda ranks #1.